Fellas, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a young woman casually ask you a question that left you wondering, what is she really trying to find out? Maybe it was something as simple as, do you like dating younger women? Or even, how is someone like you still single? At first, they might seem like harmless curiosities, but if you're a sharp, experienced man, you've probably sensed there's a deeper intention behind those words. These aren't random questions. They're tests. And if you're not careful, how you respond could either build her interest or completely kill it. Now let's get real. Younger women are naturally drawn to older men for reasons that go far beyond the stereotypes. It's not just about money or power. They're looking for something deeper: stability, maturity, and confidence. These are qualities that most younger guys are still working on. But here's the catch. Younger women won't always tell you directly what they want. Instead, they use these subtle questions to figure out if you're the kind of man who can give them what they're looking for. In today's video, we're diving deep into 9 subtle questions younger women ask older men when they're testing the waters. Each of these questions is a golden opportunity for you to show your value, your confidence, and your experience, but only if you handle them the right way. For example, when a young woman asks, "What do you think about relationships with an age difference?" She's not just looking for your opinion. What she's really doing is gauging your confidence and your ability to handle potential criticism from others. A weak or overly defensive answer will make her doubt you, but a calm, self-assured response will instantly make you stand out. And that's the key, gentlemen. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Younger women are drawn to men who know who they are and don't feel the need to prove themselves. That's why every one of these questions is a test of your emotional strength, your maturity, and your ability to lead the conversation with confidence. Now, before we dive into these 7 questions, let me ask you to do 2 quick things. First, make sure you subscribe to the Stoic Golden Rule and hit that notification bell so you never miss videos like this. Second, if this topic resonates with you, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I'm ready to level up." I want to know who's here to take their game to the next level. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's break down these 7 questions and uncover what they really mean and how you can answer them like the high-value man you are. Stick around to the end because the final question is one that most men get completely wrong, and it's a game changer if you handle it right. Let's get started. Let's start with the question that seems innocent but is packed with meaning. Do you like dating younger women? If you've ever been asked this, you might have brushed it off or given a generic answer like, "Of course, younger women are great." But here's the thing. This isn't just small talk. This question is what I call a bait. She's throwing it out there to see how you'll respond, and your answer can either draw her in or push her away. At first glance, this might seem like she's fishing for a compliment or trying to gauge your interest in her. But dig deeper, and you'll see that she's testing more than just your attraction to younger women. What she's really asking is, do you see me as just another young woman, or do you see something special in me? This is where most men fail. They either come across as too eager, too shallow, or too defensive. And trust me, none of those will work in your favor. Here's what you need to understand. When she asks this, it's a blend of curiosity, insecurity, and flirtation. She wants to know if you find her youthful energy and personality appealing, but she also wants to be seen as more than just her age. If you handle this question poorly, by focusing solely on her youth or looks, you risk making her feel like she's just a number to you. But if you approach it with confidence and depth, you'll show her that you're a man who values substance over surface-level attraction. So how should you respond? The key here is balance. You don't want to come off as overly enthusiastic about dating younger women, as that can make you seem shallow. At the same time, you don't want to dismiss her question or make her feel like her age is irrelevant. Instead, you want to acknowledge the qualities that make her, and younger women in general, unique, while also emphasizing that what truly matters to you is connection and compatibility. For example, instead of saying something predictable like, "Yeah, younger women are fun," try this. "I enjoy spending time with someone who brings a fresh perspective and energy." But what really interests me is getting to know someone who's genuine and has a great connection with me. What does this do? First, it shows her that you're attracted to her energy and vitality, which is likely one of her strengths. Second, it shifts the focus away from her age and onto the deeper qualities you value in a partner. This not only makes her feel special, but also positions you as a man who isn't easily swayed by superficial traits. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Avoid giving an overly rehearsed or insincere answer. Women can spot fake charm from a mile away, and if you come across as trying too hard to impress her, you'll lose credibility. Also, don't make jokes that trivialize her question, like saying, "Younger women keep me young." While humor can work in some situations, it often backfires here because it makes it seem like you're dodging the real conversation. Here's a real-life example to illustrate this. A friend of mine, Mark, was once asked this question by a woman he was dating. Instead of answering directly, he paused for a moment and said, "What I enjoy about spending time with someone like you is that you bring a fresh outlook on life. It's not just about age, it's about how two people connect and inspire each other." That response left her smiling, and they ended up having a deeper conversation about what they valued in relationships. By keeping the focus on her individuality rather than her age, Mark showed her that he wasn't just interested in her for superficial reasons. From a psychological perspective, this question also reveals something important about her. Even if she seems confident on the surface, she might feel a bit insecure about dating an older man. She's likely wondering if you see her as a meaningful partner or just a temporary fling. Your response can either reassure her or confirm her fears. By framing your answer in a way that highlights her unique qualities, you not only ease her insecurities but also deepen the connection between you. Another thing to keep in mind is that younger women often use this question to test your confidence. If you stumble over your words, get defensive, or try too hard to impress her, it signals insecurity. But if you answer calmly and authentically, it shows that you're comfortable with yourself and your preferences. Confidence is incredibly attractive, and how you handle this moment can set the tone for the rest of your interaction. Lastly, remember that this question isn't just about her. It's also an opportunity for you to showcase your values and priorities. A high-value man doesn't chase after youth for the sake of it. He values what a person brings to the table, whether that's their energy, their perspective, or their character. By answering thoughtfully, you demonstrate that you're a man of substance, someone who doesn't settle for shallow connections. So the next time a younger woman asks you, "Do you like dating younger women?" take it as a chance to show her who you really are. Respond with confidence, depth, and sincerity, and you'll leave a lasting impression. Remember, gentlemen, it's not just about the words you say, it's about the way you make her feel. If she walks away feeling valued and respected, you've already won half the battle. Now, let's move on to the next question she might ask. What do you think about relationships with an age difference? This one is even trickier because it touches on societal judgments and personal confidence. All right, let's dive into one of the trickiest questions a younger woman can ask you. What do you think about relationships with an age difference? On the surface, it sounds casual, almost like a throwaway question to keep the conversation flowing. But don't let that fool you. This is a loaded question, and how you answer it can either solidify her interest in you or make her doubt whether you're the right guy for her. First, let's understand why she's asking this. Younger women are fully aware that relationships with older men often come with societal judgment. Friends, family, and even random strangers might have opinions about it. So when she asks this question, she's not just curious about your opinion on age differences. What she's really trying to figure out is, are you confident enough to handle this? Can you stand by me if people question our relationship? Here's the thing. If you respond with insecurity, defensiveness, or over-explaining, it can raise red flags. She doesn't want to be with someone who feels the need to justify their relationship at every turn. Instead, she's looking for reassurance that you're comfortable with yourself, with her, and with the relationship as a whole. Now, let's talk about how to answer this question like a high-value man. The key here is to project confidence and calmness. You don't need to give a long-winded explanation or try to justify why you're okay with dating someone younger. A simple, direct response that emphasizes connection over societal norms is often the best approach. For example, you could say something like, "I believe age is just a number. What really matters to me is the connection we share and the values we bring to the relationship. If we're on the same wavelength, then age doesn't define us. It's just part of the story." This response does a few things. First, it shows that you're not bothered by the age gap and don't let societal judgments dictate your choices. Second, it shifts the focus away from external opinions and onto the genuine connection between you and her. And third, it reassures her that you're not insecure about the age difference, which is exactly what she wants to hear. Let's contrast this with what not to do. Avoid coming across as defensive or apologetic. For instance, saying something like, "Well, I don't really care what people think," might sound confident at first, but it can come off as dismissive or confrontational. Instead, focus on the positive aspects of your connection and let your confidence speak for itself. Here's an example from real life. A friend of mine, David, was once asked this question by a woman he'd been seeing. Instead of overthinking it, he smiled and said, "I've always believed that meaningful relationships go beyond surface-level factors like age. If we understand and respect each other, that's what really matters." That simple, grounded response put her at ease and deepened their connection. From a psychological perspective, this question also reveals her own insecurities. Even if she seems confident, a younger woman dating an older man might worry about how others perceive her or whether the relationship will be taken seriously. By answering this question calmly and positively, you're not only addressing her concerns, but also reinforcing the emotional security she's looking for in a partner. Another layer to consider is that this question often tests your ability to handle external pressure. If you're visibly shaken by the idea of societal judgment, it might make her question whether you're strong enough to navigate the challenges of an age gap relationship. On the other hand, if you respond with confidence and poise, you show her that you're the kind of man who doesn't let outside opinions dictate his choices. But confidence doesn't mean arrogance. You're not trying to prove a point or argue your case. Instead, you're showing her that you're comfortable with who you are and the choices you've made. A confident man doesn't need validation from others, and that's incredibly attractive. Here's another way to approach this question. Use it as an opportunity to compliment her. For example, you could say, "I think relationships with an age difference can be amazing if both people are willing to learn from each other. I find your perspective refreshing, and it's something I really value about spending time with you." This response not only addresses the question, but also makes her feel special and appreciated. It subtly shifts the conversation from societal judgment to the unique connection between the two of you, which is ultimately what matters most. Now let's address a common mistake. Some men try too hard to downplay the age gap by saying things like, "I don't even notice the difference." While this might sound nice on the surface, it can actually come across as insincere. Acknowledge the difference, but emphasize that it's not a barrier. It's an opportunity to bring different perspectives and experiences into the relationship. Lastly, remember that this question isn't just about your words. It's also about your tone and body language. Maintain eye contact, speak calmly, and avoid fidgeting or looking uncomfortable. Your confidence will shine through, not just in what you say, but in how you carry yourself. So the next time a younger woman asks you, "What do you think about relationships with an age difference?" take a moment to breathe and respond with calmness and conviction. Show her that you're not only comfortable with the relationship, but also ready to stand by her regardless of what others might think. That, gentlemen, is what separates a high-value man from the rest. And now, let's move on to the next question, one that digs even deeper into your emotional maturity. How was your last relationship? This is where things start to get personal, and your response can either build trust or raise doubts. When a younger woman asks you, "How was your last relationship?" it might sound like an innocent question, but let me tell you, this is one of the most revealing questions she can ask. She's not just curious about your dating history or trying to fill an awkward silence. No, this is a probe, a subtle way to measure who you are as a man, how you handle emotions, and whether you're truly ready for something new. Let's break this down. On one hand, she's trying to find out if you're still emotionally tied to your past. Are you carrying baggage from your previous relationships? Are you harboring bitterness or unresolved feelings? On the other hand, she wants to understand what kind of partner you might be for her. Your answer to this question will give her a clear glimpse into your emotional maturity, your ability to learn from experiences, and whether you're capable of building a healthy relationship moving forward. Now, here's where most men get it wrong. They either overshare, diving into unnecessary details about their ex, or they completely shut down, giving vague or dismissive answers. Both approaches are red flags. Oversharing makes you seem stuck in the past, while being evasive can make her question your sincerity. What she's looking for is a balance, honesty, introspection, and a clear indication that you've grown from your past experiences. So how should you handle this question? Let's start with what not to do. Avoid turning your answer into a pity party. Saying things like, "She was toxic, and it was the worst experience of my life," will only make you come across as bitter or emotionally unavailable. On the flip side, don't idealize your past relationship either by saying, "It was perfect, but it just didn't work out." This can create unnecessary doubt in her mind about whether you're truly over it. Instead, aim for a response that is honest, reflective, and emotionally balanced. For example, "My last relationship was a significant chapter in my life. It taught me a lot about communication and the importance of mutual respect. While it didn't work out in the end, I'm grateful for the lessons I learned, and it's helped me understand what I want moving forward." This kind of response achieves several things. First, it shows that you're not afraid to acknowledge your past, but that you've processed it in a healthy way. Second, it positions you as someone who has grown emotionally and is ready to move forward. And third, it subtly reassures her that you're not carrying emotional baggage that could complicate your relationship with her. Let's add some depth to this. When you talk about your past relationship, focus on the growth it brought you rather than the pain it caused. For example, instead of dwelling on the mistakes your ex made, emphasize the insights you gained. Something like, "I realized that in my last relationship, I was looking for external validation instead of being fully confident in myself. That experience taught me the importance of building a relationship on mutual trust and self-awareness." This answer not only highlights your emotional growth, but also demonstrates your ability to reflect and take accountability, traits that are incredibly attractive to a younger woman seeking stability and maturity. Now, let's talk about tone. How you say this is just as important as what you say. Keep your tone calm, confident, and free of bitterness. Avoid sounding defensive or overly emotional. Remember, she's not just listening to your words, she's observing your demeanor. Your tone should reflect that you're at peace with your past and ready for what's next. From a psychological perspective, this question is also her way of assessing your emotional availability. Younger women are often drawn to older men because of their perceived emotional stability. If your answer reveals unresolved anger, regret, or sadness, it could make her question whether you're truly capable of offering the security she's looking for. Let me share an example to illustrate this point. A friend of mine, Alex, was once asked this question during a date. Instead of getting defensive or avoiding the topic, he responded thoughtfully, "My last relationship taught me a lot about the kind of partner I want to be. It wasn't easy, but it helped me grow and understand what truly matters in a relationship. I'm at a point now where I know what I'm looking for, and I'm excited about the possibilities ahead." His date later told him that his answer made her feel comfortable and confident in him because it showed emotional maturity without lingering negativity. That's the kind of impression you want to leave. Now, what if your last relationship ended recently? Should you mention it? The answer is yes, but with nuance. Acknowledge that it's recent, but emphasize that you've taken the time to reflect and are in a good place now. For example, "It ended not too long ago, but I've spent time processing it and understanding what I want moving forward. I'm in a good place now, and I'm focused on building something meaningful." This approach shows honesty and self-awareness while reassuring her that you're ready for a new chapter. Another layer to this question is how you handle difficult emotions. Younger women often look to older men for emotional stability. If your response shows that you can navigate challenges with grace and resilience, it reinforces the sense of security she's seeking. On the other hand, if you come across as someone who's still struggling with the past, it might make her hesitate. Finally, remember that your answer to this question also allows her to project herself into a potential relationship with you. If she sees that you've learned from your past, can handle emotions maturely, and are clear about what you want, she'll feel more secure in the idea of being with you. So the next time she asks, "How was your last relationship?" see it as an opportunity to showcase your emotional growth and stability. Respond with sincerity, reflection, and a calm demeanor, and you'll leave her feeling reassured and intrigued. Now let's move on to the next question, which is often disguised as a compliment, but carries deeper implications. How is a man like you still single? Let's unpack that one next. Here's the next question she might throw your way. How is a man like you still single? At first, it sounds like a compliment, and in many ways it is. She's essentially saying that, in her eyes, you have qualities that make you desirable. But make no mistake, this isn't just flattery. It's also a subtle test. She's not just curious about your relationship status. She's trying to uncover more about your standards, your priorities, and what you're looking for in a partner. Let's dissect this. When she asks this question, there's a hidden layer of intrigue. She's wondering, if you're so great, why hasn't anyone else locked you down? On one level, it's a compliment about your perceived value. On another level, it's a probe into your ability to commit or your reasons for staying single. Your answer will give her insight into how you view relationships and whether you're emotionally available for something serious. So, how should you approach this question? First, don't fall into the trap of over-explaining yourself. A long, drawn-out justification can make you seem defensive or insecure. At the same time, don't dismiss the question entirely. Responding with something like, "I guess I just haven't found the right person yet," might seem safe, but it's also generic and lacks depth. What she's really looking for is a thoughtful, confident answer that reflects your self-awareness and standards. Here's an example of a strong response. I've had relationships in the past, and while they've been meaningful, I've learned to prioritize finding the right connection over rushing into something just for the sake of it. I'd rather be single than settle, and I'm looking for someone who truly complements my life. This answer does several things. First, it shows that you're not single because you lack options or fear commitment. Instead, it positions you as a man who values quality over quantity, a mindset that younger women often find appealing. Second, it subtly highlights your confidence and independence. You're not desperate for a relationship. You're waiting for something that aligns with your values. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Avoid framing your singleness as a negative or as something you're unhappy about. Saying things like, "I just haven't had much luck in relationships," can make you come across as unlucky or unworthy, which is the opposite of what you want. Similarly, avoid overly boastful responses like, "I'm single because I'm too picky." While confidence is attractive, arrogance can be a turnoff. From a psychological perspective, this question also reveals something about her. When a younger woman asks, "How is a man like you still single?" she's not just fishing for information about your past. She's also trying to gauge whether you're single by choice or because of unresolved issues. If she senses that you're single because you're emotionally unavailable or carry baggage from previous relationships, it could make her hesitant to invest in you. On the flip side, if you convey that your singleness is a result of high standards and self-awareness, it reassures her that you're a man worth pursuing. Let's look at a real-world example. A friend of mine, James, was once asked this question by a younger woman he was dating. Instead of giving a generic answer, he smiled and said, "I've had relationships that taught me a lot about what I want and don't want. Being single has given me the chance to focus on myself, and now I'm in a place where I know exactly what I'm looking for." It's not about being single, it's about waiting for the right person. That response not only impressed her, but also sparked a deeper conversation about their mutual values and relationship goals. By framing his singleness as a choice rather than a circumstance, James showed her that he's a man who knows his worth and isn't afraid to wait for the right connection. Another layer to this question is the subtle compliment it carries. When she asks, "How is a man like you still single?" what she's really saying is, "I see qualities in you that are rare and valuable." This is an opportunity to acknowledge her observation while steering the conversation in a positive direction. For example, "I appreciate you saying that. I think being single has allowed me to focus on personal growth and really understand what matters to me in a relationship." This answer not only acknowledges her compliment, but also highlights your self-awareness and emotional maturity, qualities that younger women often find irresistible. Now let's address tone and delivery. When answering this question, it's important to strike the right balance between confidence and humility. Avoid sounding defensive or overly eager to explain yourself. Instead, speak calmly and with a touch of humor if it feels natural. For instance, you could say something like, "I've asked myself that same question a few times, but honestly, I think it's about timing and finding the right person. I've been focusing on building a fulfilling life, and I believe the right connection will happen when the time is right." This response conveys confidence, self-assurance, and an openness to building meaningful relationships, all without sounding rehearsed or forced. Finally, let's address the underlying dynamic of this question. By asking why you're still single, she's not just evaluating your past, she's imagining her own potential role in your life. If your answer suggests that you're selective, confident, and ready for a serious connection, she'll start to see herself as someone who could fill that space. In other words, your response isn't just about explaining your singleness, it's about inviting her to envision what a relationship with you might look like. So, the next time a younger woman asks, "How is a man like you still single?" see it as an opportunity to showcase your standards, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. Respond with confidence, humility, and a touch of insight, and you'll leave her intrigued and eager to know more about you. Now let's move on to the next question, which reveals even more about how you live your life. What do you do in your free time? This one's not just about hobbies, it's about showing her your vitality and passion for life. When a younger woman asks, "What do you do in your free time?" you might think she's just curious about your hobbies. But let's be real, this question is about so much more than how you spend your weekends. What she's really asking is, do you have a life that's vibrant and exciting? Are you someone who's still curious about the world, or have you settled into a boring routine? You see, one of the biggest fears younger women have about dating older men is that they might be too stuck in their ways or too comfortable with monotony. She wants to know if you still have that spark, if you're a man who's not just existing but living. This question is her way of gauging your energy, your passions, and ultimately, whether being with you will be an adventure or a predictable pattern. Let's break it down. First, think about what your answer says about you. Are you projecting an image of someone who's active, engaged, and constantly learning? Or are you giving off vibes of someone who's stuck in the same old routine? Remember, it's not about having the flashiest hobbies or being overly adventurous. It's about showing that you still approach life with enthusiasm and curiosity. So how should you respond? Start by focusing on the things that genuinely bring you joy and fulfillment. Be specific, but also make it relatable. For example, instead of just saying, "I like hiking," add a bit of depth. "I spend a lot of my weekends exploring local trails. There's something about being out in nature that clears my mind and helps me recharge. It's one of the ways I stay connected to myself and the world around me." This response does a few things. First, it paints a picture of you as someone who's active and mindful. Second, it highlights a passion that's both accessible and meaningful. And third, it subtly conveys that you prioritize self-care and balance in your life, qualities that are incredibly attractive. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Avoid giving vague or generic answers like, "Oh, I just hang out or watch TV." While there's nothing wrong with relaxing, a response like this can make you seem uninspired. Also, don't exaggerate or try to impress her with hobbies that don't reflect who you really are. Authenticity is key. If you're not a thrill seeker or an adrenaline junkie, don't pretend to be one. What matters is that you genuinely enjoy what you do, no matter how simple it might be. From a psychological perspective, this question also touches on a deeper concern she might have. She's trying to gauge whether you have the energy and vitality to keep up with her. Younger women often associate older men with stability, but they also want to see signs of spontaneity and passion. By sharing your interests in a way that shows you're still curious about the world, you reassure her that being with you won't mean sacrificing excitement or growth. Here's a real-world example to illustrate this point. A friend of mine, Daniel, was once asked this question by a younger woman he just started dating. Instead of giving a generic answer, he said, "I've been restoring an old motorcycle in my free time. It's been a fun challenge, and there's something satisfying about bringing something vintage back to life. Plus, it gives me an excuse to take weekend road trips once it's ready." That answer not only intrigued her, but also opened up a conversation about shared interests and the joy of exploring new places. It showed her that Daniel was a man with a passion for life and a knack for creating memorable experiences. Another layer to this question is how it reflects your independence. Younger women are drawn to men who have their own lives, their own passions, and their own sense of purpose. When you talk about what you do in your free time, you're not just sharing hobbies, you're demonstrating that you're a complete person, someone who doesn't rely on a partner to fill their emotional or social voids. This is a subtle but powerful way to show that you're confident and self-sufficient. Now, let's address the importance of tone and delivery. When answering this question, let your enthusiasm shine through. If you talk about your hobbies with a flat tone or lack of energy, it can make even the most exciting activities seem dull. On the other hand, if you speak with genuine excitement and passion, it makes you and your interests far more appealing. Here's another example of how to answer this question effectively. I've recently gotten into photography. It's a great way to slow down and really see the world around me. I love finding beauty in the little details. Whether it's a sunset or a busy street scene, it's become one of my favorite ways to unwind and stay creative. This response not only showcases a specific interest, but also reflects mindfulness and a creative side, traits that can make you stand out from the crowd. Lastly, remember that this question is an opportunity to invite her into your world. By sharing your passions and interests, you're giving her a glimpse of what life with you might look like. Will she see a man who's engaged with the world and eager to share new experiences, or will she see someone who's content with the status quo? The choice is yours. So the next time a younger woman asks, "What do you do in your free time?" don't just list your hobbies. Use it as an opportunity to show her your passion for life, your curiosity, and your ability to create meaningful experiences. Show her that being with you isn't just about stability. It's about adventure, growth, and connection. And now let's move on to the next question. One that tests not only your confidence, but also your ability to handle societal judgment. Doesn't it bother you to date someone much younger? Let's explore how to navigate this one like a pro. When a younger woman asks you, "Doesn't it bother you to date someone much younger?" it's more than just a casual question. This is a direct test of your confidence and your ability to navigate an age gap relationship without insecurity or hesitation. On the surface, she might seem curious, but what she's really doing is evaluating how secure you are in this dynamic. Your response can either solidify her interest or make her question whether you're truly comfortable with the relationship. First, let's understand why she's asking this. Younger women often face societal judgments or comments when dating older men. By posing this question, she's not just asking about your feelings. She's trying to determine if you're someone who can confidently stand by her, even in the face of external scrutiny. If you seem unsure, overly defensive, or dismissive, it could raise doubts in her mind about your emotional strength. However, if you respond with calmness and positivity, you'll reinforce the security and confidence she's seeking in a partner. The best way to answer this question is to acknowledge the age difference without making it the focal point. Instead, shift the emphasis to the deeper connection you share and the qualities that truly matter in a relationship. For example, you might say, "Not at all. Age is just one part of who we are. But what really matters to me is how we connect and the way we make each other feel. That's what I value most." This response is powerful because it does several things at once. It shows that you're not bothered by the age gap, it highlights your focus on meaningful connection, and it reassures her that you're confident in your choices. On the flip side, there are certain pitfalls you want to avoid. Don't be dismissive with responses like, "Why would it bother me?" While this might seem confident, it can come across as dismissing her concerns. Similarly, avoid defensiveness or over-explaining, such as saying, "I don't care what people think." This shifts the focus to societal judgment rather than the bond you share, which is not where you want the conversation to go. If humor comes naturally to you, this can be an excellent moment to diffuse any tension and show your ease with the topic. For instance, you might respond with something lighthearted like, "Bother me? Not at all. I think it keeps me young. Besides, who wouldn't want to spend time with someone as vibrant as you?" This kind of playful response not only shows confidence, but also makes her feel appreciated and valued. Now let's talk about what's happening on a deeper psychological level. This question isn't just about your feelings on the age difference. It's also her way of gauging how you handle external opinions and societal pressure. She knows that age gap relationships often attract attention, and she's looking for reassurance that you're the kind of man who won't be swayed by what others think. If you can show her that you're secure in yourself and your decisions, she'll feel more secure with you. Your tone and delivery also play a crucial role here. A calm, relaxed tone paired with steady eye contact will reinforce your confidence. Avoid looking uneasy, fidgeting, or hesitating, as these can signal uncertainty. Remember, she's not just listening to your words, she's observing how you carry yourself. Reframing the question is another effective approach. Instead of focusing on whether the age difference bothers you, shift the conversation to what makes her unique and valuable to you. For example, you could say, "Not at all. What stands out to me isn't your age, it's your perspective, your energy, and the way you bring something unique to every conversation." This response subtly redirects the focus from the age gap to the qualities that make her special, leaving her feeling seen and appreciated. Here's an example of how this can play out in real life. A friend of mine, James, was once asked this exact question by a younger woman he was seeing. Instead of dodging it or giving a generic answer, he smiled and said, "Not in the slightest. What I value most is the way we connect and how much we enjoy each other's company. Age is just a number to me. It doesn't define who we are together." That simple, confident response put her at ease and even deepened their bond. She later told him that his calmness and clarity were what made her feel secure in their relationship. It's also worth noting that this question can reveal her own insecurities. Even if she seems confident, a younger woman dating an older man might wonder if the age difference will eventually become a barrier, whether in terms of energy levels, compatibility, or societal acceptance. Your response should reassure her that these concerns are unfounded and that what matters most is the quality of your relationship. Ultimately, when a younger woman asks, "Doesn't it bother you to date someone much younger?" she's not just seeking reassurance for herself. She's also evaluating your strength as a partner. By responding with confidence, positivity, and a focus on the deeper connection you share, you demonstrate that you're a man who doesn't let superficial factors define his relationships. And that, gentlemen, is a quality that sets you apart. Now, let's move on to the next question, one that shifts the focus from your feelings about her to your overall self-worth. Do you take care of yourself? This is about more than just physical health. It's a window into how you value yourself and the future you're building. When a younger woman asks you, "Do you take care of yourself?" it's not just a casual inquiry about your health habits. This question goes deeper, touching on how much you value yourself, your priorities, and your ability to create a future that includes her. For many younger women, being with an older man means seeking stability and maturity. But they also want to know that you're taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. After all, no one wants to invest in a relationship with someone who doesn't value their own well-being. At its core, this question is a subtle test. She's asking, do you have the discipline and self-respect to maintain your health? Are you someone I can rely on long-term? Your answer will not only reassure her about your current state, but also give her a glimpse into your mindset and how you view your future. Now, let's talk about how to respond. The key here is to strike a balance between confidence and humility. You want to show her that you prioritize your health and well-being without coming across as arrogant or overly focused on appearances. A strong response might look like this. I make it a priority to stay active and eat well because I believe in maintaining a healthy balance. It's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good and being able to enjoy life to the fullest. This answer is effective because it shows self-awareness. You understand the importance of self-care, which reflects maturity and responsibility. Emphasizes quality of life. It's not about vanity, it's about living a fulfilling and energetic life. Demonstrates reliability. It reassures her that you're someone who takes care of themselves and, by extension, could take care of a relationship. Now let's address what not to do. Avoid dismissive answers like, I try, but I could do better, as this can make you seem careless or unmotivated. Also, steer clear of overcompensating with a long list of fitness routines or diet plans. This might come off as self-absorbed or even intimidating. Instead, focus on balance and consistency, which are far more attractive qualities. From a psychological perspective, this question also speaks to her long-term view of the relationship. Younger women dating older men often think about the future, whether that's 5 years down the line or 20. By asking about how you take care of yourself, she's trying to gauge whether you'll remain active, healthy, and capable of enjoying life together. Your answer should reassure her that you're not only present in the moment, but also investing in your future. Let me share an example. A friend of mine, John, was once asked this question by a younger woman he was seeing. Instead of giving a vague or overly rehearsed response, he said, I try to stay active every day, whether it's going for a run or just taking a long walk. For me, it's about keeping my mind clear and my body strong so I can enjoy life's adventures. It's important to me to be the best version of myself. That answer not only satisfied her curiosity, but also sparked a deeper conversation about shared values and goals. By showing her that he valued his health as part of a larger commitment to living fully, John reinforced her confidence in their relationship. Another important layer to this question is how it relates to emotional well-being. Taking care of yourself isn't just about hitting the gym or eating salads, it's also about maintaining a healthy mindset. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude emotional stability and resilience. So when answering this question, consider incorporating a nod to your mental health practices as well. For instance, I make it a point to stay active and eat well, but I also take time to focus on my mental health, whether it's through reading, meditating, or just spending time outdoors. I believe in keeping a balanced and positive outlook on life. This kind of response shows that you're a well-rounded individual who values both physical and emotional health, which is incredibly attractive. Now let's talk about tone and delivery. Your tone should be calm, confident, and reflective. Avoid sounding overly casual or like you're trying too hard to impress her. Instead, speak with sincerity and a genuine sense of purpose. Your body language should match. Maintain steady eye contact and an open posture to reinforce your confidence. Lastly, let's consider the practical implications of this question. If you're not currently prioritizing your health, this is a wake-up call. Younger women are often drawn to older men because of their perceived stability and maturity, but neglecting your health can quickly erode those qualities. Investing in yourself, whether it's through exercise, proper nutrition, or stress management, isn't just about looking good. It's about ensuring you can enjoy life to its fullest and be a reliable partner. When she asks, do you take care of yourself? She's essentially asking whether you have the discipline and foresight to maintain a fulfilling life. Your answer should reflect that you're not only aware of the importance of self-care, but actively practicing it. Show her that you value your health as a foundation for everything else in your life, and she'll see you as someone worth investing in. Now that we've tackled this question, let's move on to the next one, which delves even deeper into how she views you as a long-term partner. What qualities do you value in a partner? This is where you can really set yourself apart. Let's explore how to handle it with confidence and clarity. Gentlemen, if you've made it this far, it means you're serious about understanding not just younger women, but also yourself. These 7 questions aren't just tests, they're opportunities. Each one gives you a chance to demonstrate the qualities that set you apart as a confident, mature, and emotionally stable man. And the way you respond can either deepen her connection to you or cause her to second-guess whether you're the kind of partner she's looking for. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered. When a younger woman asks questions like, "Do you like dating younger women?" or "What do you think about relationships with an age difference?" she's probing your confidence, your values, and your ability to handle challenges with grace. She's looking for signs that you're a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to stand by it. The same applies to more personal questions, like, "How was your last relationship?" or "Do you take care of yourself?" These are her ways of assessing whether you're emotionally available, reliable, and invested in your own growth. But here's the most important thing to remember. Your answers alone aren't enough. What truly matters is how you make her feel when you respond. Younger women are drawn to older men not just because of their maturity, but because of the sense of security and inspiration they bring. When you answer these questions with calmness, confidence, and authenticity, you show her that you're not just any man. You're the kind of man who stands out. From a Stoic perspective, these interactions are also a chance to practice self-awareness and emotional control. Instead of reacting impulsively or trying to impress her, focus on being present, listening deeply, and responding with intention. The principles of Stoicism remind us that true strength lies in how we handle challenges, including these subtle tests. By staying grounded and authentic, you communicate that you're a man who doesn't need to prove his worth, because it's already evident in how you carry yourself. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a key insight. The goal isn't to win her over. The goal is to build a connection that's meaningful, mutual, and rooted in respect. Each of these questions is an opportunity to showcase not just your confidence, but also your values, your vision for a relationship, and your willingness to create something real. Younger women are drawn to men who inspire them, challenge them, and offer a safe space where they can be their authentic selves. Be that man. Now, here's your next step. Take what you've learned here and put it into practice. The next time you're in a conversation with a younger woman or anyone you want to connect with, remember to lead with confidence, listen with intention, and respond with authenticity. These qualities will not only make you stand out, but also help you build relationships that are truly fulfilling. Before we end, I want to thank you for sticking around. Your time is valuable, and the fact that you've invested it here shows your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the Stoic Golden Rule, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on insights like these. And if you have thoughts, questions, or even your own experiences with these subtle tests, share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, gentlemen, confidence isn't about being loud or boastful. It's about being grounded in who you are. When you embrace that mindset, the right people will naturally be drawn to you. Until next time, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and lead with strength and wisdom. See you in the next video.